To the gods, man. You already know. Hey, I lately one of the things that's been on my mind has been this No Jumper podcast, right? Adam22, I think he's based out of California. And his podcast recently has been featuring a lot of guys who became famous through Chicago gang culture from people on the internet who have turn these gang members' lifestyles into like urban novels or whatever. You know what I mean? If you're not familiar with it, starting in 2012, Chicago, received a lot of notoriety because they introduced a lot of trends into the rap world, into the gangster world. Openly gangbanging on the internet, openly claiming people who you've killed, and it gave fans and people on the internet an inside look into who's getting killed, who's doing the killing. It's basically like if there was some type of machine that would allow you to turn gang wars in Chicago into some sort of like episodic saga, like a Dragon Ball Z saga. Next on Dragon Ball Z, it would have been invented in 2012 because and I blame a lot of these young guys because they were teenagers and young adults on social media basically putting all this stuff out there. So as a result of these gang members, basically Chicago basically made gang banging trendy on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And openly claiming bodies. Some young guy might get killed at a bus stop, and then the next thing there's a cat from the rival gang making fun of it, or there's some cat talking about the murder before it even hit the news or something like that. So the Chicago gangsters basically made their city like a urban novel. You know what I mean? Everybody knows everything about everything. And this guy Cairo, he's not a rapper. He's not anything. He's just a dude that's affiliated with a gang that became popular because the artist who used to go by Little Herb, now G Herbo, is from that particular area, and he's his friend. He's not a rapper, and now that this stuff has been going, like I said, I'm talking about 2012 as the beginning of this fan hype, this interest on the internet. This episodic novel has been going on for 10 years. So guys like him, 10 years, 12 years later, or whatever it's been since 2012, have built themselves a fan base without even being entertainers or rappers or anything like that. They're basically famous because they were, gang members out of Chicago at and people love. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. I know it's hard for me to really explain it, but people are so interested in gang politics in Chicago because you can actually put the faces to what's going on. You actually know this gang right here is beefing with this gang. This gang is on this street. That gang is 2 blocks away. This gang has 5 main killers. Their 5 main killers are this guy, that guy, that guy. You can see the pictures of these guys. You can see their tweets and stuff. I mean, it basically just provided, and it's crazy, man. It's hard to explain, but it's just their life is just so open, man. And KTS Vaughn was somebody that was a rapper, but he really wasn't a rapper. He basically just uses raps to gangbang. You know what I mean? And I was around back then. I never liked this stuff. I remember he had this one song where he was wearing a hoodie that had FUCK, your dead homies, which refers to this guy Cairo's gang. And I'm gonna get back to the no jumper thing. I know I slid off, but I'm just giving you some backstory. So, the no jumper in this no jumper clip, he asks Cairo, was KTS Vaughn really like that? Mind you, KTS Vaughn has been speculated to have killed some of his homies, and KTS Vaughn's brother was actually killed 2 years ago, leaving the Cook County Jail. He got bonded out with an ankle monitor. His mom and his girlfriend was walking with him. As soon as he left the jail gates and they released him, he was shot 64 times. So this is KT. So this is KTS Vaughn right here, right? So this is what I mean by these gang members basically made their life open. He died in 2015. And No Jumper is asking Cairo, was he really like that? Look at that. You see, F your dead homies. These are all get whacked at the bottom, Kobe, Fazo, Pee Wee, Gotti, Rock, Pharaoh, Jono. All of these dudes are members of the No Limit Gang, right? Which he is a part of. You know what I'm saying? So you know, this video came out 8 years ago, and this is what I mean by Chicago started the trend of openly gangbanging on the internet. That's the brother who was hit 64 times leaving jail, right? So, all right, here's my point, right? All right, so Chicago content is basically very, very trendy right now. It's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy to see that the guys. I mean, that's cool because a guy like him is able to make a living off basically a bunch of pain and trauma that he's experienced his whole life. But look, check this out. Let's get to the no jumper thing, right? Because Adam really be tripping, man, and I really don't like the direction this podcast is going in.
I don't really want to speak on him. Like
the guy Vaughn.
I think I'm hating. Like, and I know people that love him. I don't really be like want to talk down on nobody, but like, what's your definition of really like that? Like it all depends on what's really like that. I can't really like it's you just. It's different levels of being like that. It's levels like certain saying being like that is beating his ass, like he know how to fight. Certain levels of being like that is oh yeah he shot a few people. Certain levels of being like that is I heard he got bodies. I ain't gonna lie.
Is it weird for you to see being like that or like all this murder like glamorized not just by the city but like the outside world kind of having this?
All right, then that's what I want to get to. So, Adam, like, I've really never really been into the No Jumper podcast, and I don't hate Adam or anything like that. I don't really know much about him. I know that he's a porn star, and I know that he's into skateboarding. But I mean, I'm into skateboarding too, but I've never really heard of him when I was in the skateboarding world, and I've been in the skateboarding world since like 2001. And Adam, to me, has never really been a big name in the skateboarding world. I mean, I don't know if he actually knows how to skateboard or not. I don't know. You got to remember, I was in the punk rock scene. I got into it from the skateboarding scene. You know what I'm saying? So I was really into that. That was my lifestyle. And basically, it's just crazy to see that the direction of his podcast is he's focusing so much on these Chicago guys, right? Like THF Bezu, he's a guy from Chicago. He's a rapper, but he's not. He doesn't. They're not. A lot of these guys these drill rappers don't really have fruitful careers because they basically aren't. They're like underground rappers, basically, and they're more popular for being gangsters than being actual rappers. The dude Cairo, who you just saw in that last clip, he's not a rapper or anything, but thank God that he's capitalizing off the fact that he has a following. But look,
the juvenile center or whatever. Like
THF Bezu on robbing people in his younger days, and it's just like Adam. Why is it that? I mean, look, I understand that we live in this atmosphere, this media atmosphere where content is king. People are like fiending to have content on their podcast. People are monetized. People make money and stuff like that off their YouTube shows. So people are fiending for content. They're looking at the analytics. They're seeing what works. But my whole thing is, I just don't understand why are you monetizing trauma, pain, and why are you asking? I mean, it's nothing wrong with inviting these guys to your show. But my whole thing is, why? I mean, it's like, why can't you take this whole Chicago gangbanging narrative and put it in and stop glorifying it basically and put things into a different perspective. Invite these guys on the show, let them tell you their story and stuff like that in a positive way that can lead the youth into maybe some enlightenment. Maybe you can give these guys a big because you have a huge platform. You got 4 million followers. These guys rap videos might do 100,000. Like Bezu, he probably doesn't even have a video with over 1 million views on his own. He has one song with King Von that has millions, but as far as like him as a rapper, he probably doesn't even get 50,000 views, I don't think. And I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying that he's more known for being a gangster than a rapper. And I'm like, yo, you're giving him this huge platform where he can be publicized to millions of people, and you choose to ask him questions about him being a robber when he was young. I mean, he's 33, and you're asking him about doing juvenile life. And everything is glamorizing the streets, and it's just like, Adam, you're enlightened. You're a smart guy. You understand that there's a lot of genocide going on in America. So why aren't you using your platform to try to fix these things? Why are you glamorizing the gang lifestyle, man, for content? And Adam says he doesn't believe in God and stuff like that. He doesn't have any organized religion that he believes in. I'm the same way. I understand where he's coming from. I don't necessarily believe in organized religion, but I do believe in God. I believe in the universe. So I I have principles and I have morals, and there are lines that I wouldn't cross, and I feel like I have a responsibility to the world. When you're dealing with people who are telling you flat out, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in nothing, I have absolutely no beliefs, I'm a pure atheist, you got to watch them, because if you don't believe in anything, then how can you believe in me? How can you believe in doing anything right? You don't believe in nothing. There's nothing that you believe in. You're like an empty vessel. So, yeah, man, Adam, it's a shame. Your podcast has turned into shit, into shit, man. Peace.